The crowd inside the London theatre was buzzing with excitement. Cameras flashed, fans cheered, and journalists waited eagerly. It was supposed to be a celebration. A special Outlander event marking 10 years since the show first changed television forever. Both Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe were in attendance, smiling, radiant, side by side as always. But no one knew that this night would end in tears. The moment that broke millions of hearts began innocently enough. After the applause died down, Sam took the microphone, thanked the crowd for their love, and smiled that familiar, gentle smile. Then, his tone changed. The room grew quiet as he looked around, almost as if searching for the right words. "This is something I've wanted to say for a long time," he began softly. "This show has been the greatest journey of my life, but every journey has to find its ending." A wave of murmurs rippled through the audience. Caitriona, sitting just a few feet away, frowned slightly, sensing what was coming but not wanting to believe it. Sam continued. "After a lot of thought, I've decided that this next season will be my last as Jamie Fraser." The words hung in the air like thunder. For a few seconds, the room was utterly still. Then came the gasps. Quiet at first, then spreading through the audience as the reality set in. Caitriona covered her mouth with her hand. Her eyes filled instantly with tears. She tried to compose herself, but the emotion was too much. A decade of memories, the laughter, the late-night shoots in the Scottish rain, the bond that grew between them, flashed through her mind all at once. Sam looked down, his voice cracking slightly as he went on. "Jamie has been a part of me for 10 years. He's taught me strength, love, and what it means to fight for something bigger than yourself. But I think it's time to let him go." The audience erupted, not in cheers this time, but in disbelief. Some fans shouted, "No," while others simply sat in stunned silence, tears in their eyes. Many had followed Sam's journey from the very beginning. The idea of Outlander without him was unthinkable. And for Caitríona Balfe, it felt personal. As the applause slowly began, a bittersweet mix of love and heartbreak, Sam turned toward her. Their eyes met, and in that silent moment, everyone could see the depth of their connection. They weren't just co-stars, they were two souls who had lived an entire lifetime together on screen and off. Caitriona's tears streamed freely now. When Sam walked down from the stage, she stood, her hands trembling, unable to stop crying. A journalist later described the moment. She wasn't crying for the show. She was crying for him, for everything they'd built together, for every goodbye that had to come too soon. The cameras tried to capture her reaction, but she turned away, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. Sam noticed and walked straight toward her. Without hesitation, he pulled her into a hug, a long, emotional embrace that spoke louder than words. The room fell completely silent again. The two of them, holding onto each other, surrounded by the flashes of cameras, became an image that fans around the world would never forget. Someone from the production team said afterward, "It was like watching the end of an era in real time." She didn't let go of him for a long while. No one did. Sam eventually stepped back, his own eyes glistening. He smiled softly and whispered something to her that microphones couldn't catch. But whatever he said made her nod through tears, trying to smile back even as her voice broke when she said, "I'm so proud of you." Afterward, backstage, Caitriona was seen still wiping tears as she spoke briefly with the press. Her voice was shaky but sincere. "I knew this day would come. But it doesn't make it any easier. He's not just my co-star, he's my family." Those words spread like wildfire online. Fans reposted clips of the announcement, calling it one of the most emotional moments in Outlander history. Some wrote, "You can see her heartbreaking right there. This isn't acting. This is real love, real friendship." Within hours, hashtags like #ThankYouSam, #OutlanderForever, and #CaitrionaAnsem were trending globally. As the night ended, Sam left the venue quietly, hand in hand with his manager, while Caitriona remained backstage for a while, talking softly with crew members. One witness said, "She couldn't stop crying. She kept saying, "It won't be the same without him." It was the goodbye no one wanted. Not the kind written in scripts, but the kind that comes when something beautiful reaches its final chapter. And as Caitriona Balfe stood there, surrounded by applause and tears, one truth became painfully clear. This wasn't just the end of Jamie Fraser's story. It was the end of a decade-long bond that had changed both their lives forever. The following morning, the entertainment world was still reeling. Every headline carried the same words: Sam Heughan says goodbye to Jamie Fraser. Social media was flooded with emotional posts and fan tributes, videos, artwork, letters. But amid the outpouring of love, one image dominated them all. Caitriona Balfe in tears, clinging to Sam Heughan during his announcement. Fans couldn't stop talking about it. Some called it the most real moment in Outlander history. Others said it felt like watching two old friends saying goodbye to a part of their souls. For Caitriona, the emotions didn't fade overnight. Insiders close to the production revealed that she was still tearful the next day. She was trying to keep it together, one crew member shared. But every time someone mentioned Sam leaving, her eyes filled again. You could see how deeply it affected her. Later that week, Caitriona sat down for a short interview with Entertainment Weekly, and for the first time, she spoke openly about what happened that night. She took a deep breath before answering, her voice soft but steady. "It wasn't just an announcement," she said. "It was the closing of a chapter that shaped who we are, both of us. For 10 years, Sam and I built this world together. We grew up in it. We became a family. So when he said those words, it hit me harder than I expected." Her eyes shimmered as she smiled faintly. "I guess I wasn't crying because he's leaving. I was crying because I'm proud of what he's given, what he's become, and how much love he's poured into every moment of this show." Those words spread across the internet like wildfire. Fans shared clips of her interview, calling it heartbreakingly beautiful. One viewer wrote, "She didn't lose a co-star, she lost her partner in storytelling." What many didn't know was that Caitriona had known about Sam's decision for months. The two had spoken privately about it while filming their final scenes together in Scotland. She had understood why he needed to move on: new roles, new challenges, new beginnings. But hearing him say it out loud, in front of fans, made it feel suddenly real. In that same interview, Caitriona revealed what Sam told her backstage after the event. He said, "Thank you for being my Claire, not just on screen, but in life. I'll never forget that," she said, her voice breaking. She paused, looking down before adding, "We've been through everything together: joy, exhaustion, laughter, even heartbreak. I can't imagine my life without Sam in it somehow. But I also know he'll always be part of my story." After the interview aired, fans around the world sent messages of support, not just to Sam but to Caitriona. They understood that this wasn't simply the end of a TV role. It was the end of a bond that had carried two people through a decade of shared dreams and challenges. In the days that followed, Sam posted a photo on Instagram that only deepened the emotion. It showed the two of them from their very first screen test in 2013, young, nervous, and smiling. His caption read, "From the first day to the last, you've been my constant. Thank you, Kate." Within minutes, Caitriona replied in the comments, "Always, Jamie, always." Fans around the world lost it. The comment section exploded with crying emojis, broken hearts, and messages like, "We're not ready to say goodbye either." Even their Outlander co-stars joined in. Sophie Skelton wrote, "The two of you created magic." Richard Rankin added, "It's been an honor watching your journey." Behind the scenes, however, Caitriona and Sam were already finding a quiet peace. Insiders said they spent one final evening together after the event. Just the two of them, sitting in a quiet bar in Glasgow, reminiscing about the years that had changed their lives. They laughed, they cried, they toasted to everything, a close friend revealed. When they said goodbye that night, they both knew it wasn't forever, just for now. As weeks passed, fans began to notice Caitriona's posts becoming more reflective. Photos of sunsets, quotes about change and gratitude. In one, she wrote, "Endings hurt because they mattered. But that's also what makes them beautiful." Sam liked the post within minutes. It became clear that while their on-screen story might be coming to an end, their friendship wasn't going anywhere. In fact, it seemed stronger than ever, built not on the scripts they'd memorized, but on the memories they'd lived. And maybe that's why Caitriona's tears touched the world so deeply. They weren't just for the show, or for a character. They were for 10 years of laughter, loyalty, and love that words could never fully express. As one fan beautifully wrote online, "She cried for all of us. Because when Sam said goodbye to Jamie, we all had to say goodbye too." The heartbreak was real, but so was the love. And as the curtain slowly falls on Outlander, one truth remains. No matter where life takes them, Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe will always be bound by a story that changed their lives, and ours, forever.